Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and this is Connor.
Hey guys.
We're going to talk about Better Call Saul, Season 2, Episode 8. It's called FiFi, and full spoilers, as always, for reviews on this show. That was a good 5-minute sequence at the start. Focusing on this guy taking this truck from Mexico into the US.
What a gorgeous shot.
Yeah, it was a lot of good stuff. Everything about it was filmed really well. Honestly, well, I have one mild complaint, is that I don't really feel like they capitalise on this yet, but I'm sure that'll next week.
Yeah, it was a bit of a Mike Light episode, so to speak.
I'm sure the setup with the truck is going to be capitalised on, so that's not really a major complaint. It's just, you spent 5 minutes on it and then nothing really happened with it, and sort of seeing it, casually at one point. My real complaint, funnily enough, is that how was the I'm going to say this in two ways. One for the Americans, which is the unnatural way for me, but the ice lolly, aka the popsicle, if you're an American, they're just in boxes. Like, did they not need to be cooled? Was the truck itself cooled?
The truck was cooled. You could see when he opened the door, the fog came out, like the mist.
Because he pulled it out and just started eating. I'm like, why is that not melted? Fair enough, if the truck was cooled itself.
No, at one point when he opens it and it rolls out, you can see that.
But legit, my one complaint was that I thought that should have been melted. That was my complaint.
Well, they clearly have perfected a way of transporting these.
Yes, they have. Yes.
Common sense dictates that.
Well, no. I just thought it'd be more obvious. Like, there'd be freezers in the truck,
like ice boxes.
Yeah, ice boxes. Yeah. Okay.
Nah, it must be just massive cooling for the truck.
That's fair play. Fair play. That makes sense.
Yeah. Very more efficient, to be honest.
It is. You know what? I just was not aware of the advancements in cooling technology.
We've come a long way as a species.
We have. However, as fun as all that was, that's obviously just a setup for later on. Although, I was conflicted at the end because Mike's, we find out the hose he's making is like a trap for a vehicle.
Yeah, as soon as he says, "Oh, it's for the plants," it's like, no, it's fucking not.
It's like tire track, not tire tracks. But you know what I mean? It's got the track for the tires, to burst them.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, because my initial thought was, oh, it's for Salamanca's car, but I thought, well, maybe it's for the truck because he's seen the truck. Maybe he's going to do something with the truck. And we spent so long at the start setting up the truck that it makes sense that the episode's bookended with those two things relating to each other.
Do you know where the truck stops off and he goes to the drop point and picks up the gun?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same drop point we saw in Breaking Bad? I'm not sure it's the exact same one, but I think it's one of the ones where Mike took Jesse.
Possibly.
It feels. I feel like where he lifts off the rock and the box underneath. That looked really familiar, like I've seen that in Breaking Bad, but maybe it's just a similar style one.
I don't recall. I mean, it's just sort of deserty looking place.
Yeah, it's the way he lifts the rock off and the boxes underneath.
But I mean, if Saul follows that truck in the next episode and finds that place, then it stands to reason that it's a place he knows. So, maybe. I really can't remember. You're asking me to remember if I recognise that spot.
Because I think Mike takes Jesse there when he's doing runs for Gus.
Right. Okay.
And when he's like trying to train him essentially. I think.
I remember now.
I feel like it's one of those spots that they go to.
You may be right. Good memory, if so.
Yeah.
But no. So. That's Mike's side of things. Very, very simple. He's still watching and he's making his trap for the vehicle. Obviously,
basically half the shots of Mike were him sat in the car watching things.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of a theme for this episode, was him just sitting watching things. The other half of things, of course, was Kim trying to keep a hold of the Mercedes case, the banking client that she wants, and she's all happy. Jimmy and her have found their office, which is an old dentist office, which obviously
I feel like it was so perfect the way he tells her how it's this mirror. They're identical, but they're just opposite, and it's just the perfect metaphor for them. These two people trying to go and do this lawyers, but just in complete opposite ways.
Yeah, I also, for some reason, moving into an old dentist office felt very Saul to me.
Yeah.
it feels like exactly the sort of thing that he would do. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it feels like him. You know, there was no nail salons available, so
dentist, next best thing.
Yeah, dentist. Yeah, 2 places I don't like going. I've never been to a nail salon.
I mean, I was just about to say that.
I don't even know where one is, to be honest, in the vicinity.
I do just because I walk past them.
You just walk past, you walk past it. Honestly, I probably walk past. I think they're all mixed with hairdressers though, so I just usually I'll see it and say that's a hairdresser, rather than thinking.
There's a couple of specific ones that I know of just from.
Not my area of expertise.
No, I can't say I've ever walked into one.
Nah. Very few reasons that either of us ever would. Either we'd know someone who works there, so we're meeting them there, or...
Hey, I might get my nails done if I had any after I finished, biting them.
You're not the target customer for a nail salon.
I'm really not.
Alright, we're getting way off track here. The stuff happened. Yeah, so she thinks she's got the missive verdict, and as soon as she said the contract's not written yet, but I feel great about it, I'm like, okay, it's not
going bad.
It's not happening. And then Chuck just has to go in and
as soon as he realised Jimmy's involved.
Yeah, he had to go in and ruin it. And it's like he's technically in the right always, but it's in that really annoying way where he's using the right to be the dick.
Yeah.
Like
he's not doing it. He's using the right side of the rules, but he's not doing it for the right reasons.
Yes.
He's doing it just to get back at Jimmy rather than to let Kim do something good. It's not for the sake of saving the client for his firm.
To quote another fantastic show, what Jimmy did was wrong, but Chuck was a dick, and sometimes that matters more.
Yes.
If you do not watch Mr. Robot, season 1 was last year, season 2 is coming up this year. I won't spoil a damn thing. Watch Mr. Robot. It's fantastic.
If you haven't watched it, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go and watch it.
Go watch Mr. Robot. It is fantastic, that show. And I know you'll see the USA Network logo and you'll think, oh my god, this can't be good. No, trust me, it's good.
We were as shocked as you.
Yeah. But no. So. And I thought that scene was good, like Chuck talking them into it. I thought was quite
very clever.
A very clever way of doing it. And then Chuck collapsing at the end because he's like, but it just shows it's such a character thing. It shows you how much pain he's willing to put himself through, even though we think it's all phantom.
Even if it is, he still feels the pain.
Yeah, he believes it though, so he's willing to put himself through all of it to do this. It's just, oh man, such a dick move. Such a dick move.
Yeah, my favourite shot visually of the episode was in his house with him and Hamlin, and they're like stood on opposite sides of the room, and the light's just coming in the window. It's just like, oh, that looks so good.
Yeah, I used to love shooting scenes like that when I was shooting stuff because it was less lights.
It makes sense.
It's purely on laziness. I mean, I would never compromise a shot out of laziness, but if the shot itself lends itself to the laziness, then it's like,
it's like an added bonus.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, what a win! What a win! If you can do everything in one take, fantastic. Right, next scene. But no, I really like that stuff. I really liked. And we're not actually sure why Jimmy's making a commercial with the old guy right now, are we?
Not entirely. I imagine it's just for his law firm.
Yeah, I imagine it is too, but we're not entirely sure. That was a funny scene. It was kind of on its own, separate from everything else, other than the fact that you get called at the end. But
yeah, I really liked how he called the guy Fudge. But the whole thing is he always fudges the rules a bit.
Yeah.
It's clever.
Yeah. Also, the camera guy's face when the old guy said that he was arrested for public masturbation. It was pretty good.
That was gold.
Dear.
I really like when he interrupted them as well. Japanese.
Yeah, some fun stuff. But I suppose the big thing that really happened though, towards the end, is Jimmy or Saul gets the opportunity to try and mess things up for Chuck and HHM, and hopefully revert the clients back to Kim, because doctors or corrupts the files that they've given him, and
all he does is change his two numbers, the order of two numbers. But man,
yeah, but he doesn't like multiple.
He does it on every document,
Yeah.
so it all lines up, so that it's always the same two numbers that are wrong.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's kind of that thing with these TV shows where you've got a sort of anti-hero where you're kind of rooting for him, even though you know that what he's doing is wrong.
It's worse when we know where he ends up as well. Like,
yeah.
No matter how much we root for him, he can't become the good guy, essentially.
But at the same time, you're kind of on his side. Like, you get it. Like, Chuck fucked her over, and he wants to just fix it.
But the thing is, I'm watching, I go, is this the thing that ruins his relationship with Kim? Is this the thing?
Yeah, but let's be fair, though. You're going to say that every single week until it happens.
You are, and that's the annoying thing. It's like, I don't know what it's. You're just waiting for it at this point. It's like, is this it every time?
I'm not there yet. I don't think we're there yet. I think it wouldn't shock me if he's smart enough to not tell her about this. Don't get me wrong, it wouldn't shock me if he does blab. But I think, given how she's reacted to the last few times,
he's maybe learning.
Yeah, he's maybe, because we've seen that he's learned with other things. Like when last week or the week before, when he flat out just sort of stops himself and says, "Nah, like, I'm colourful. I'm always going to be colourful because that's who I." Like, he realises he shouldn't lie to her, and well, this would be lying. This would be lying because he knows what the reaction will be if he tells her the truth.
It's very true.
But because all he theoretically needs to do now is let the fallout happen.
Yeah, and just blame it on Chuck as his illness, mistyping, miswriting.
He doesn't have to blame it on anything. All that needs to happen is that they're going to mess up a bunch of stuff. The bank guy is going to come in and be like, "You're incompetent. You know, you gave me this speech and this song and dance about experience and, you know,
age is showing through after all.
Reliance and all that, and you messed up at the first hurdle. No, bye. You know." He just has to wait for that to happen. That's all it is. Because the guy was still quite sold on Kim. He just got talked out of her. So
it was the girl who was especially sold on Kim as well.
So, but if they fuck up, they're immediately going to go, "Well, wait a minute, we really like the idea of her."
Yeah.
So, the plan's solid. Whether or not it goes through is another thing. With Saul, it's really hard to predict. I feel like it might go through all to plan. I feel like, and I could be completely wrong here, they could put him in a worse place at the end of this season. We've got 2 episodes left, but part of me feels like they might end this on at least for Saul and Kim, like a happier note, or we're set up and business is going to start really going next season, and we're going to get a season of them actually operating like this, and then it's going to completely fall apart at the end of next season.
It could do. The thing with Saul is that his plans, while sketchy, they always seem to work in the short term.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're right. It probably will work, but it's what will happen later.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I could be completely wrong, and this could completely fall apart in the next 2 episodes, and it could.
But anything goes at this show.
Yeah, but at the same time, my inkling though is that whatever goes down, it'll kind of work out, and we'll get most of season 3 will be them actually operating as like side by side.
That's the logical way that it would happen.
But hey, this show surprises me quite a bit, so why not? I mean.
Yeah. But this whole thing led to one of my favourite moments, actually, which is when he comes back to Chuck the next morning after all that, and Chuck says, I'd do the same for you. And he actually looks really guilty.
He does, he looks guilty. I like that moment.
But then the thing is, it's like, but would he do the same for him?
I think he might. Like, I think when it comes to law and all that stuff, Chuck is such a dick, and he's so... Like, but I think when it comes to just taking care of each other and making sure he's like healthy and getting him out of trouble and stuff, I think when it comes to that, he is on point.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm not sure anymore. I feel like he was. When we saw in season 1 him go and help Jimmy before he was a lawyer, and he got him out of that situation, and that kind of set him on this path. So obviously he was willing to help him back then. But now I'm just wondering, would you still do that after everything?
I think that's what makes this show so interesting, though, is the characters have this much depth that we can sit and argue, would he or wouldn't he?
Yeah, and we could be here all night, because there is no right answer.
And there's evidence to support both, so it's, characters with layers and characters with depth is a winning formula. Hi, Kat. So, no, that's this week's Saul. I've been really enjoying this season. I think some people are probably disappointed that it's not as action-packed, I guess.
I feel like they'll get their kick from that with the Mike stuff coming up.
Possibly, but you know what I mean? Like, remember how season 1 started with like Saul getting taken out into the desert and like Tuco had his gun to his head and all that, and like I feel like some people may be disappointed that sort of thriller sort of
it has
territory.
taken a turn more towards the lore side of things.
And I'm completely okay with that because it's been doing it flawlessly. And I have no doubt that all that stuff will make a return. But I'm someone who's always loved both sides of things. And I was the same in Breaking Bad. A lot of people think season 2 of Breaking Bad's boring as hell, and it gets good at the end. And I'm someone who disagrees with that. I really like season 2. It's not, don't get me wrong, season 3 is
but
gold. But
I think season 1's the weakest for Breaking Bad, personally.
It probably is. I'd really have to sit down and think about where I'd put it.
Yeah.
I would maybe argue the first half of season 5, because they split it in 2.
Yeah, if you count that as a separate thing, then probably.
Because
but as a whole?
As a whole, no, because the second half of season 5 is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's not the first half of season 5 is bad, it's just...
It's just waiting to get to this end point.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
My favourite part of the show, though, is probably the 3rd season.
3 to 4, yeah.
Season 3, last half of season 5, and I really... Although the episode that sold me on Breaking Bad was episode 3 of season 1. It was the scene with the plate, and they had what's his name down in the basement?
Yeah, Crazy 8.
Yeah, I think that was him. That scene's... I mean, I liked it already, but that scene sold me on the show. That was when I was like, oh my god, this is fucking... Like, the film making going on here is quality. We'll start talking about Breaking Bad, which we'll need to do like a Breaking Bad retrospective at one point. I think
it's inevitable that we're going to talk about it at points with this show.
But I feel like one day we're going to have to rewatch the whole thing and do a retrospective special or something. But no, so that's Better Call Saul season 2 episode 8. 2 episodes left.